Have you ever felt shame because of the size of your clothing? Have you felt bad when you've had to go up in a size? Let's talk about it. I like to keep introductions short, so hi, my name is Eve. This is my logic and overall my thoughts. So, yeah, let's get right to it. Women's clothing sizes. They suck. They make you feel like an absolute pig. Nothing fits right. Everything is awful. It's raining outside and someone just stabbed you on the street. But in all seriousness, if you've been feeling a little down, if you've been feeling a little fat, and you're tired of the gym bros in your face and the gym gals in your face talking about just lift weights, dude. They make bigger clothes if you don't like want to go to the gym, dude. Like just go to the gym. Like that helps no one. That helps no one. As a person who has worked out a lot and generally does enjoy working out, it doesn't help me at all. Because I do enjoy working out, but I don't necessarily have a problem with my body. I am a bigger person, but I don't really I don't have a problem with my body. Like I like my body. And that's a realization I had quite recently. Like I had it a while ago where it's like, okay, I like my body. I like who I am. But the other day I just realized like, hey, I don't really want to lose weight. Like I don't really want to be skinny mini, and if one day in my life I am skinny mini just because of lifestyle changes and I decide to be more active and that happens to be my body, that happens to be my body. But I'm perfectly fine with the way that my body is now, and I'm always trying to find healthier lifestyles. And the way that I eat nowadays is like very, very healthy. My mother hates me type vibe. Like she's over the whole health nut thing. But, you know, you're not going to see instant results. And I don't want instant results. I don't want to be skinny mini. Like, I don't really care for her. I don't. It's also a thing that with plus size clothing, it's just uglier. Like, let's all be honest here. Plus size clothing is uglier. And it's not because, oh, if you're a bigger person, then therefore you're just uglier, so your clothes are going to be uglier. Duh. No, it's a lack of skill. And with fast fashion and just, capitalism, it makes it all that worse on women. Most women aren't an extra small. And even with extra smalls, they have a hard time finding clothes. This goes on both sides of the spectrum. And it has been that way for a very long time, where there's this like standard of how big people should be in like certain age groups. You even see it like with children's clothing, places that are less diverse, like in Asian countries, well, white Asian countries. I know it's like a really big thing. They're like, oh, the sizes are very small and all the clothing is very, very small, which kind of makes a little bit of sense because they tend to be a smaller people. Don't want to come off as racist or anything, but they just tend to be smaller, more petite people in general. It still doesn't include everyone because out of 100 people, not all of them are going to be the same size. You're going to have the odd one out who is bigger just by nature. So I like understand where the standard sort of sizing comes from. It's just something that, in my opinion, got old very, very quick. Even with children's sizing, I mean, I can relate as a someone who was a big kid. I mean, I was like probably around 5'6", 5'7" in fourth grade. So it just wasn't gonna happen, babe. It wasn't working. My mother did a very good job of still finding age appropriate clothing. However, it wasn't an easy battle because of how tall I was. And by default, the rest of me was just bigger. I just wasn't the size, like, I wasn't this small, petite, white child, you know? And, not to make it a race thing, because there's definitely people in all races and all ethnicities that are petite and some people who are bigger. You know, that's just how it goes. It's not a race thing necessarily, but it is a more common theme. I even saw somebody say, I believe it was on TikTok or something, that the whole reason why Alabama Barker doesn't try to fit in with, the white people and the Kardashians and her white, peers or whatever is because she doesn't fit in.
Alabama don't hang with her actual peers because she's fat to them. Okay, they consider her fat. I'm not calling her fat. To me, she's not fat. That's not fat. That is a mid-sized body right there. She looks healthy. She looks good. But her peers think she's a whale. And that's why she can't hang out with them, because she does not stand out. A white girl with some meat on her bones, with some nice curls in her head and a lace and makeup done around some black girls, she stands out in that. So,
But yeah, so because she doesn't fit into the skinny, mini, little tiny white girl stereotype, she's automatically an outcast. And I would say that that goes for anyone. If you don't fit like the stereotypical body type for your ethnic group or your race, then you're automatically an outsider. It all goes back to misogyny. It all goes back to the patriarchy. It all goes back to all women being oppressed. That's at the end of the day what it all goes back to. Because you could claim, you could, assume that, somehow there are, men who kind of go through the same thing, but not really, you know, not to that extent, I would say. They always say that black guys have big black beans. If you get that reference, I love you. But I will put it on the screen, don't you worry.
When you leave a club or a New York bar, you gotta advertise and you see our rockin' cars. Party 3 or 4, or even more. I like down the block, we're serving big black beans. We are.
But I would say that that ties in with more of a racial issue than so much of a generalized men's issue. You know, that's just, in my opinion, racism, not necessarily the world being against men or men, a certain category of men being uh patronized or whatever. Like, yeah, because it's just, yeah, it's a race thing. It's fully absolutely a race thing, and I will stick by that. With women sizing, it's really just another example of how shitty the world is. And the whole plot of this video and the whole point of me sitting here and talking about this is because even if one person who was shitty about, oh, my favorite jeans don't fit anymore, and they watch this and they realize it doesn't fucking matter. It's okay. You could get bigger jeans. And that whole thing of like, oh, I don't like wearing jeans because I'm bigger and blah, 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 blah. That shit does not matter. Also, trying to like fit into an aesthetic, get over it. Get over it, queen. I'm telling you right now, if you're feeling low about your swag and about your aesthetic, oh, I said swag, but whatever. I cringed a little bit myself. Um, but if you're feeling down about your swag or anything, brother, I'm telling you, leave the aesthetics behind. Leave that cottagecore shit on TikTok, please. Because there is a time and place, and that is just not something that you see on the internet anymore. That's not something that influencers are doing anymore. Also, quick little side note, personal style is something that has completely died, and it's just, we don't hear about it anymore. Having your personal style and developing your personal style is fully based on taste and what you like and what you don't like. If you like it, that's your style. If you don't like it, not your style. And it's that simple. And guess what? If you didn't like that random shirt 5 years ago, but now you like it, then now it's your style. But to get back on topic, The whole thing with women sizing, it's that it doesn't mean anything. It's all warped. There is no certain measurement or say to it. Like, it doesn't mean anything. That's pretty much it. It just doesn't mean dog shit. So it honestly, like, why concern yourself with nonsense at that point? It's honestly ridiculous, and I don't blame you for feeling a certain way, because trying to dress yourself, which does matter, when you're wearing something that you like, you feel significantly better. Just life feels better, and you should wear things that you enjoy wearing. However, you know, with the beautiful world we live in today, it's a little hard to do so. But just as point is, don't let it fucking bother you. It doesn't matter. It's all bullshit. Sizing, it's crap. It's honestly all crap. Um, I will link some articles down below if you want, a more educated conversation surrounding this. However, you're not gonna find it here. Um, and any advice that I have is learn how to sew. Not everybody has the time or they want to, you know. If you want to learn how to sew, definitely learn how to sew. But if you don't want to, find a good seamstress. Find a good seamstress, find a good tailor you like, um, and just go to town and invest in long-term pieces. When you buy a lot of, little swimsuits or like little tops from like fast fashion places, fucking suck. They look cheap. That's why you don't like your outfit. Is not because, you have bad taste or anything. It's because you look fucking cheap. The material is disgusting and you look cheap, and I am going to tell you that because I love you. And I don't know you. Love and peace and light on earth. Love you. And yeah, you look cheap. You don't have to spend, and just because you spent like $50 on a top does not mean you're not gonna look cheap, babe. What's gonna give you that look are better materials and tailoring. That's literally what's gonna give you that look. And then also, undergarments are very important, but it's very popular nowadays to wear clothing that doesn't fit you. I don't know why. Everybody wants to be a smaller size, everybody wants to be a skinny mini, and it's just like, no, absolutely not. And regardless of what your beliefs are and, anything, I'm not trying to get too political, but I really think that, like, looking at drag queens, like, if you watch drag queens and just the way that they are, it really is inspiring as a woman who, from the second that you gain consciousness, you start criticizing your fucking body, you know? But looking at drag queens and how these are men, you know, and they have men bodies and they're big and bulky and whatever, but they feel like the biggest diva in the room, and they're like 200 pounds heavier than you, but they feel like the baddest here. And it's like that shit is completely inspiring. Like, that's what I recommend is the world is a shit place. So make it fit to you. You shouldn't fit into the world. The world around you should fit for you. Um and don't surround yourself with negative fucks that want to like tell you, oh my god, you're fat or whatever. There's a difference between being unhealthy. I don't think there's anything wrong with being fat. And then also, do I know that, one day I probably will lose a lot of weight? Yeah, sure. But I have no, I'm not in a rush, I have no need of, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose all this weight in this much time. No, I used to think that way, and I feel like it's just absolutely toxic. I think that for me, that enjoying the journey is a lot more important. And I love my body now, and I'll love my body then, sort of thing. I'm rather that because I am making lifestyle changes, so it's gonna come regardless. The weight loss is gonna be a beautiful result of it, but that's not why I'm doing it. And I'm not doing it to like, oh, burn all this fat or anything. No, I'm doing it for me and for my overall lifestyle and for the balance of my life and mental health and just being overall the best me that I can be. Um, but yeah, oh yeah, how to lose this much weight in a month, how to lose this much weight in a year, you know? It's bullshit. It's honestly bullshit. It's so much better. It's so much more gratifying to know that you are living your life the best way that you can, and you don't have to look a certain way because, oh, if you're healthy you would look like this. No, you could be a very healthy person and not look like that. It's okay. And you know what, if you do want to look like that, that's okay too. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to look a certain way. Just love yourself now and love yourself then. Two things can be true fully. Like, I feel like that's not talked about enough, how two things can be true. You can love yourself now, and you can still have goals that you want to reach, and you can love yourself then too. It's life. We're not meant to be stagnant and stay the same way fucking ever. you know you're ever changing, you're ever growing, and embrace that. But anyway, yeah, I hope you somehow enjoyed this shit show. I hope you made it to the end somehow. Um, and, let me know any thoughts and opinions in the comments. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And I hope that out of all the shit that I talked, something in this video made you feel a little better. That's my goal here. But see you next time.